Hey guys, I'm Combat Craig, and here are 4 different claims. If you're service connected for these claims, and you also have sleep apnea and you're considering filing a claim for sleep apnea, you can file them as secondary claims. Just trying to keep the conversation moving here, talk about some of these conditions, and I have Kelly with me here again today. Hello.
Hi, Combat Craig. Good to see you.
Good to see you as well. So yeah, I like the folks are liking our conversations about sleep apnea, so I figure we just go overboard with it.
Oh, great.
So let's start with we kind of lumped a few of them together here. So and we can break them down a little bit, but if you're service connected for sinusitis, allergic rhinitis, or deviated septum, you could file a claim for sleep apnea and create a nexus link that's believable. What are your thoughts? True.
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 I think you can. So obviously, any of the sinuses, sinuses in your forehead, in the middle of your face, in your airway, behind your nose, it's all part of your airway. So if sleep apnea is something that we always talk about, a collapse in the airway, whether it's down here in your throat, but you can actually have issues in your sinuses in your face, causing a distortion in your airway. So that's definitely one additional issue you can have with your sleep contributing or in addition to your sleep apnea. Having rhinitis, you can have allergic rhinitis, you can have runny nose, allergies, that kind of stuff. And that too, again, it's all part of that airway. So it's not just, like I said, a collapse in your tongue falling back. People who have issues with their sinuses, it's going to contribute to your sleep as well. Mainly because your jaw is going to have to open when you're sleeping at night. You can't breathe through your nose. Imagine when you have a cold and you go to sleep and you can't breathe through your nose, especially if you're a nose breather. And now you've got to open your mouth to get the air through. It changes the jaw, the opening to your airway, actually contributing to some of that sleep apnea.
There are 2 times when you don't need a nexus: when you file a claim while you're still on active duty, like a BDD claim, or when you're in the 1-year presumptive period. Any other time, you need a nexus. You also need a strategy. Check out my boot camp and contact my med team if you need a nexus. So is one way to think about it is sleep apnea as a respiratory throat issue. And these 3 things that we're talking about is respiratory nose condition.
Related.
So you could have both. They're different diagnostic codes. And as you definitely need a nexus if you want to win, period. But it's relatively easy to not run into pyramiding issues with these.
Sure.
If your symptoms
Yes,
are documented right.
Right. And like I said, like you just said, the whole pharyngeal airway, and the airway, in your back of your throat, it's all interconnected. Some people are natural mouth breathers, some people are nose breathers. And you can tell off the bat. So if you're the natural nose breather, as you look like, because you're not walking and talking with your mouth open to breathe, but for people who cannot breathe through their nose, and that's a chronic condition, whether it's rhinitis or having sinusitis, it's going to affect their breathing, ultimately, again, contributing to some of the issues with sleep apnea. Same with having a deviated septum. So, you don't breathe out both sides of your nose at the same time. And if your septum is deviated, that changes how your breathing is when you're sleeping, blocking your airway.
And then you were talking about nose breather and mouth breather. I am a fancy snowflake. I'm neither of them. I'm a fire breather because I'm a dragon. Rawr! Just kidding.
That's cool. A lot of people even think that they're mouth breathers when they're sleeping at night because they say, oh no, I breathe through my mouth. But when you are clearly talking to them, you can tell their mouth is closed and they're breathing through their nose. And I'll say, you know what? You might have your mouth open when you're sleeping at night because you're looking for more air, especially if you have sleep apnea.
Yep.
Contribute to the dry mouth, the swollen uvula, like the things we talk about when you have sleep apnea.
Yep.
People
Whole
have
different ball game at
sinusitis.
night. That's why we do the sleep study, ladies and
Sure.
gentlemen.
That's why you have morning headaches and the dry mouth and all that kind of stuff. So definitely need to get that obviously diagnosed.